So let's try one of these. So we're told a car with a mass of 1,500 kilograms is moving at a speed of 14 meters per second. What is the kinetic energy of the car? So you start with writing down everything you know. Don't just jump into it, okay? Please start with writing down everything you know. So this, it says mass of 1,500 kilograms. So M is equal to 1,500 kg. Moving at a speed. Okay, speed is represented by V. 14 meters per second. Then it says, what is the kinetic energy? That's EK. So my EK is my question mark. So then you look at your formula sheet and you think, which one do I need? Do I need the EK one, do I need the M one, or do I need the V one? You need the EK one. So then you write out your formula. Now please, please, please write out your formula. About half of you didn't write your formulas on your test. The next test, I will take marks off if you don't write your formulas. Okay? You must write your formulas. The reason being is because if you get in the habit of not writing your formulas, it will really bite you in the butt later. Okay? The habit is really important. So the whole formula is half mv squared. Now we put in what we have here into here, and what we have here into here. So let's do that. So EK is equal to half times by 1,500 kilograms times by 14 meters per second, and that value is squared. So, what do you put into your calculator? Everyone get out their calculators, please. Now, as Amy mentioned, it can be easy, instead of going 1 divided by 2, just go, you can just type in 0.5 or 0.5, because that's what a half is. And then you times by 1500, and then times by 14 squared. Now, most of your calculators have a square button that you can just press the square button. You got a big number, right?
147,000.
Yes. So you should get this value coming out of your calculator, okay, result. So that's a number that just came out of my calculator. Well, what does it mean? What was I looking for? Kinetic energy. So that's kinetic energy. What are the units of kinetic energy? Joules. So my final answer, it does. So I'm only allowed 2 sig digs. So 1 sig dig, 2 sig digs. This is greater than 5, so I round up. So I'm left with 1.5 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 joules. Now, on your big formula sheet, your formula sheet that has everything on it, if you forget what units things are, it tells you. It says kinetic energy joules right there. Okay? So when if you forget your units, just look at this one. Okay. Any quandaries with this question? Want to try the next one? Yeah, you do. Arvine is so excited about it. Can I imitate the look you just gave? No? You don't want to see it? You guys need to see it. Okay. He did not want to. But I'm so excited that I think you will be soon too. Okay? So a bowling ball is moving at the speed of, I'm going to use a different color, 2.21 meters per second. So that's speed, so that's V, 2.21. If the kinetic energy is 15.7 joules, so EK is equal to 15.7 joules, what is the mass? What's the mass of the bowling ball? So then you look at your formulas and you think, which one do I need? So which one of those on that line of kinetic energy do you need? So the one that has m and then equals to. So whatever m is equal to, that's the formula you need.
In kinetic energy. Right?
In the kinetic energy one, yeah.
M equals 2 EK over V squared.
Very good. So now I can just plug in this into here, and this into here. So m is equal to 2 times by 15.7 joules divided by 2.21 meters per second, and that value needs to be squared. So how do you put this in your calculator? You go 2 multiplied 15.7, and that should go in brackets, or you just hit enter and then do the next part. So brackets, and then divided by bracket 2.21, hit the square button, close the bracket. So my calculator says 6.429. Does that sound familiar to what is on yours? So what came out of mine was 6.429, blah, 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 other stuff. So what did that number mean for this question? It was a mass. So what's its units? Kilograms. Remember, if you're not sure, look at your formula sheet. Okay? So our answer needs to be in how many significant digits? 3. So 6.43 kilograms is our final answer. Now, a note, again, speaking about your test, if you did not do significant digits properly, I did not take marks off, but I made comments where you didn't do significant digits. But I didn't take marks off, okay? So make note of that. Hi, Michaela.
If the speed is like a velocity, like if it has direction, is it the same thing?
Yeah, you would, that's a good question. So if you're given velocity, you still use the numbers, but you don't worry about the direction. Because, does energy have direction? Not really, no. If an object has energy, it just has energy no matter what direction it's going.
So you don't worry about like changing it to negative or positive?
That's right, yeah. Energy is a scalar quantity, so when we deal with energy equations, we don't need to worry about direction. It could always be worse, right?
Yeah, you can live at my house.
Shh, don't say things like that. Okay, all right, so any other questions about number 2? Ready to move on? Last one. Let's do it. Pound it out. Okay. So, a 15 kilogram child, so kilogram, that means that's a mass, is sliding down a playground slide. If its kinetic energy is 77 joules, so kinetic energy, 77 joules, how fast? So fast applies to speed, okay? So that's V equals question mark. So then you look at your kinetic energy formulas and you think, which one do I need? I need the one where it says V equals stuff, okay? So you look at your formula sheet. Where does it say V equals stuff? Or it doesn't say the word stuff. Yeah, so V is the square root of 2ek divided by m. So now we just plug in what we know. So V is equal to everything the square root of 2 times 77 joules divided by 15 kilograms. So when you're putting this into your calculator, you got to be careful. So hit the square root sign. And then you have a bracket right away, right? Put it in another bracket, or if you don't have a bracket right away, and go 2 times 77, close that bracket.
There should be 2 brackets.
Yes.
At the start.
Yeah. I'll show you why. Divided by 15 and then close bracket. So I show you why. So these brackets apply to what's right here, and these brackets apply to right here, because we want the whole thing to be under the square root, but we only want these two multiplied together. So try that in your calculator. If you don't know how to do brackets, call me over. Oops, I hit a wrong button. Okay. Good. Okay, so we get like 3.2, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so our calculator says 3.204. Okay, so what does that number mean? Meters per second. I'm talking about speed. Very good. How many sig digs? 2. So 3.2 meters per second is our final answer. Very good job. Okay, so